Hey everyone, welcome back here. We're going to have another exciting rendition of winners, losers, and our favorites for today and for beyond. We didn't do a pod yesterday. That was due to traveling and a lot of different other things, but we're back here today, so I promise I'm going to make it up to you guys by giving you guys a couple of picks here both ways. Let's get into it here. Our winners of the day. We're going to have two of them. We're going to first have FedEx. FedEx posted spectacular earnings results. Beat on the top and bottom line, had great revenue. You're looking at a stock now in the after hours at a new all-time high in the 260s. Would I go chasing it in the 260s? Probably not. I would look for a slight dip into the 250s. When you get that dip in the 250s, I don't think that's a bad idea to go long there because FedEx is a pretty cheap stock. You're going to see a lot of deliveries, a lot of online e-commerce, as everyone knows, but it's only going to continue to improve and increase over time. That's going to wheel right into FedEx and UPS's wheelhouse. So you are going to look for gains, especially in those two names. My favorite is FedEx over UPS, and the earnings results will show that. The second winner today is Square. Square had a big day coming off of the news that they are going to be delivering instant payments for payroll. This really isn't an attraction to businesses that aren't using Square because you have to fund it with your Square balance. However, this is a really big deal for merchants that are using Square but are not using Square payroll. You could see a bigger attractiveness now and more integration with existing Square merchants, which is a big deal because a significant amount of Square merchants existing don't use Square for payroll. So you should see a greater revenue there. You can see a higher adoption for the Cash App, which has been really successful thus far. Couple losers here on the day. We're going to have to just go back here. Nikola, one of the big losers. Don't touch it. Do not touch this stock. This stock is going to go down into the 20s. There is a lot of potential fraud here. It's looking like Trevor Milton using basically his own home to fund the only revenue Nikola has, lying about the trucks being able to propel themselves. It's not a good situation. I would avoid it at all costs. It's a no touch for me. It's a no touch even in the 20s. You can't buy something that could theoretically be worth nothing. I mean, they don't even have a factory. They don't have a product. They don't really even have a prototype. I mean, this is a complete theoretical company for $14 billion. You could sit at home and create a theoretical company. And if you can make $14 billion on that, great. But intrinsically, it's worth nothing. A second loser of the day is Jumia Technologies. And Jumia Technologies, a different type of company, one we have not talked about. It's actually a favorite of mine for the long term. If you can hold out on a stock for 10, maybe 15 years, this could be one you look back on and say there might be a loser today and they might have been a loser the last month and a half, but they are a winner for the long term. Why do I say that? Africa is they are the Amazon of Africa. I like to compare them more to the Allibaba of Africa just because you cannot really compare something to Amazon. But they're really an e-commerce play, the only one true e-commerce play in Africa. They operate in a few countries. Obviously, why I say really long-term hold is because Africa is not a developed country, or continent, I should say. They have developed countries, but they only have a few of them. And so you really have to wait to see how, for one, monetization, how the country stabilizes or continent stabilizes, all of the countries within the subcontinent. But you also have to see in Africa how the political situation goes because there's a lot of authoritarian regimes. There are a lot of different rules as you go into different countries. So you have to really wait on that one. They're a loser because they've gone down from a high of $23 all the way down to $7 some today in the last month and a half, 2 months. What I'm going to start doing here is I'm going to start loading up on Jumia for the long haul at these depressed prices. What I would have bought at 23, I can buy 3 times more at 7, or vice versa. You could really spend only a third of the price that you were going to before. So I would say look at them. If they continue to keep falling, it's a good entry point. I think right now is a pretty decent entry point. But they are definitely a loser today, and they've been a loser the last month and a half since their earnings report. A stock here that I think you really all need to look at and really pay attention to is Allibaba. I think Allibaba is one that it's come off a little bit here since it's almost at 300. It's in the 270s. I see this situation increasing for Alibaba. I see their price not only increasing as they've come off of great earnings, and they have Ant Financial that is looking to go IPO here pretty soon. I see a situation between U.S. and Chinese trade relations improving as well here over time. It's in the best interest of both continents and both political regimes to resolve this issue. And I see that working itself out here over the next 12 to 18 months. And I think you're going to see a respective increase in Alibaba's share price. Right now, they're valued around $600 billion or so, $500 billion. I think they're going to be $1 trillion company one day. They are in one of the great economic centers of the world in China. And China does have a substantial population, 2 billion roughly. So I think that's a stock you got to just play and hold long term. I think it's a good entry point here. You might be able to get into the 265 range if you're really trying to play pennies, but that's one I would definitely take a look at. But anyways, those are our winners and losers of the day. Alibaba is one that we're going to keep an eye on here for the long term. Again, if you have any questions at all, just send them our way. We're going to love to answer those and hopefully make you all a little bit richer than you were the day before. All right, guys, we'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow. We got actually a lot of guests coming on next week. When we release those pods is to be determined, just because we want to make sure that our guests here one of them, his name is Eric Rivera. He's coming on next Friday. He's actually done projects with Amazon and with HBO. He's got a new show out with them. So want to make sure that we give those pods the most exposure possible. So to be determined on the release date, but we are in the works with several exciting people. Other people I can't name yet because they haven't been officially confirmed with a date. But keep an eye out for those, and let's keep this ball moving. Have a good Tuesday, everyone.